recently Variety, I believe a couple days ago, released an article discussing like the DC universe and what's going on with that. Um, so we could start. We don't have to. This stuff is kind of explaining everything with Black Adam, and we don't really need to discuss that because we already know that Black Adam's not going to continue and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But here in the article, they say as 2023 kicks off, DC bosses Gunn and Saffron continue to shift through the rubble and will soon reveal their 3-year interconnected vision for the cinematic universe, which won't feature Cavill's Superman or Wonder Woman at all. And then they mentioned how things could have been different, blah, blah, blah. But then there was something else I wanted to mention. Um, at the end of the article or somewhere, I think at the beginning here, they mentioned the fact that Ezra, yeah, they mentioned it somewhere that Ezra could come back. They're open to the idea that he could come back if he continues his rehab and continues to, or they continue their rehab. I don't want to, I know he goes by different pronouns, but um, so I don't want to misrepresent him and how he wants to be talked about. But yeah, so Ezra doesn't want, or the executives say that Ezra could possibly come back as long as they continue to go through therapy. And I will discuss how that's ridiculous. But yeah, what are your thoughts? And then I want to share this real quick. Gunn responded to those, which I will say I think it's good, and that Gunn does this sort of thing. Gunn debunks this and says he debunks the idea that Wonder Woman will not appear at all. And then he also states that I don't know what's out there about Ezra, but our slate is 8 to 10 years, and we'll only announce some of it this month. So I want to get your thoughts on all of this, really, and what direction do you think DC needs to move in with Gunn at the lead?
Well, first with the Ezra thing, if he comes back, then the company's got to be like there's something going on in there. They put something in their tea, bro. It's like it's not good. Like Ezra should not come back. He needs to be done. Like I said, I don't care how much they liked him in the role. I don't care if he's the best Flash I've ever seen. I don't care if he's the best comic book casting I've ever seen in the Flash. He's like better than RDJ, better than Hugh Jackman. I don't care about none of that. He does not need to be in any more after what he's done. He's done. He needs to tap out.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. For sure, Ezra is like done some of the most like heinous things, like human trafficking, I believe, like kidnapping people, like punching people, like it's just crazy stuff. It's just like repeated offenses of it. And it wasn't until like Ezra was not remorseful at all really for it until they threatened to cancel his Ezra's film. And then Ezra came out with a statement, apologized, and then that sort of thing happened. Ezra's gone to therapy sets, and I doubt you see Ezra on the press tour at all for it. And that's going to be wild, especially since Ezra's the lead of that film. And I mean, you got a ton of good cast of characters in that. You got Keaton coming back as Batman. You got Affleck back as Batman.
Yeah.
You got Sasha Calle as Supergirl.
I really hope they keep her. She looks really good as Supergirl. I'm to keep her for the new DCU. I think they will? No, but like I really hope.
Yeah, I mean, I think with that, I think that's a good segue into what Gunn's got to do. I've kind of said that like, if you're gonna reboot it, you gotta fully reboot it. You can't pick and choose who you keep. And again, I'm disappointed that Cavill's not coming back, and I think the explanation for Cavill not coming back is like, oh, we want to do a young Superman story, so we can't. So, okay, that's just weird. Just say you want new actors. Just don't try to make it like, oh, Cavill can't play a young Superman, or like Cavill's already done it. I mean, Cavill's definitely got a raw deal. I think we can both agree on that.
Yeah.
Probably like I would say one of the best casted superhero characters of all time, with like Robert Downey Jr. and Hugh Jackman, just didn't get anything good. I like Man of Steel a lot.
It's an Andrew Garfield situation. Great casting, terrible movies.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with that. It just more than just terrible movies, just terrible studio execs. I like Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman.
I think she's all right.
That's not happened. I really love Ben Affleck as Batman. I know a lot of people are mixed on it. Again, I think he's a really good casting.
Mhm.
Um, they really didn't do anything with the character, so like whatever there. But yeah, I feel like a full reboot. There's been rumors that he might keep the Suicide Squad and like Peacemaker, which would be weird.
I feel
I
like
don't.
that'd be too narcissistic. I feel like he wouldn't even risk just keeping just them.
Right, that would be just like nepotism. It'd be like textbook nepotism. Just like keep your own characters. It's
Yeah.
like really, like that would just be really weird to me.
I do think he
Uh,
would keep some of them. I think Margot Robbie's safe because he even said himself Margot Robbie's is the best actress as actress he's worked with. Um, I think the girl who plays Amanda Waller safe. In my opinion, I feel like she's like RDJ. She's like has like a death grip on that character where like you don't want anybody to touch that character anymore. Like she is Amanda Waller, and I feel like
right.
Peacemaker is also safe. I think those are the three of Gunn's characters that are like completely safe.
Okay, so I think John Cena will be back as Peacemaker. I could definitely see that for sure. And he already talked about they're doing a Peacemaker season 2.
Yeah, and Gunn's working. Seems like he's worked close with John Cena too because he's going to be in his new movie soon for Warner Brothers. It's Coyote versus the guys like Coyote versus the Roadrunner. James Gunn he like wrote that, and John Cena's in that, and they work together on that. So it seems like he likes Cena too and likes working with Cena.
Okay, I did not know that. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense then. Um, but I kind of want to ask. So it seems like Gunn and Saffron have a 4-year contract,
Mhm.
and they have this 8 to 10 year plan, kind of like what Marvel does, obviously. Um, obviously, Gunn's been a big part of what the MCU's done with the Guardians.
Yeah.
Uh, but they're going to announce probably the first like 3 years, like Variety is kind of reporting.
Mhm.
And I think for what Variety is saying, because sometimes Gunn will like misconstrue what people report, and it's weird that like he said, "Oh, I don't know anything about Ezra." It's like, really? Um,
Well, I think by that he means like he doesn't know what people are saying about Ezra. I don't think he like
okay, that's fair.
I think that's what he
That's
meant to
fair.
say.
Gunn does like a really good job of like not being like
Too
too
specific.
con too specific. Yeah, he leaves statements like vague enough for like, oh, okay. Um, but like in my opinion, anytime something like this happens or anything, transparency is just like key. Like I don't care. You could have just waited until you announced all this stuff and then said what he was gonna say. But anyways, I think with the first 3 years, um, obviously a Superman project, right? Um, he's talked about that a little bit. Um, I would like something with the Lantern Corps, whichever one it is. You could choose any of them. I feel like that's never been well represented in
They've been too scared to
film.
touch it since Ryan Reynolds movie.
Yeah, yeah, that is very true. That is very true. Any even any of the corpses, I wouldn't care.
Mhm.
Um, because I feel like they could go the opposite direction of Marvel. They can go more with the cosmic stuff, right? Because it
Yeah.
looks like Momoa is gonna play Lobo. So you can go with the more cosmic stuff and then move your way towards Earth. I'd go like the opposite of what Marvel did when they started out with like the Avengers on the Earth and then they went cosmic. You could kind of do the opposite. So I kind of want to get your thoughts on what Gunn's going to do with the first few years of his DC universe.
One, I don't think there's going to be a DCU Batman for a little bit. I think they want
Okay.
to. I think they're going to let Robert Pattinson breathe a little bit. So I don't think they're going to like. I know that sounds crazy. Oh my God, no Batman! But like for the first 3 years at least, I think they want to have Pattinson have like one more movie before they introduce a new Batman. Because for general audiences, it's going to be too confusing that there's two Batmans at the same time. Like oh wait, didn't y'all just announce there's a new actor for Batman? No, we got two universes. Oh, all right. So I feel like they're going to do Lantern Corps. I think they're going to do Stewart and this John Stewart instead of Hal Jordan for Lanterns too, because Hal had his
Hmm.
time to shine in the first Green Lantern movie. I think they'll let Stewart do something in this, or they can do a situation where they do both. Like one could be more cosmic based, one could be more Earth based. Like they can station Hal on Earth, John in cosmic. I feel like that would be cool. Um, I do think we're going to get another Wonder Woman project. Superman and Wonder Woman I think are guaranteed, as well as as well as Lantern. A Lobo project? I don't know if that would have like. Who wants to see a solo Lobo project?
Yeah, that's just so. And again, I think Gunn's done a great job with like niche franchise. Like the Guardians are very niche.
Mhm.
They were very niche for a long time before they were introduced in film. I could see it.
I could see a
But I don't,
Superman versus Lobo movie in the future. That would be fun because they fought in the
right,
comics multiple times. But like just like a
right.
solo Lobo movie, I guess it could be kind of like a bounty hunting movie where we can see like familiar like some cosmic characters like this. I like your idea of them straying more cosmic than going more Earth, like the opposite of MCU. So he can go like maybe that's how they introduced the Lantern Corpse. It's a Lobo movie. He's going traveling throughout the galaxy. He gets in trouble with the Lantern Corpse, and that's how he first gets introduced to them. That would be fun. Um, and then anything else for the first 3 years? I don't know if they're gonna try to touch Aquaman again either. I feel like they're gonna try to go for like a different type of Justice League. Like they're gonna do like Hawkman, Hawk Girl, Martian Manhunter. I feel like too instead of Batman, Aquaman. I think they'll try to recast Cyborg too. I don't know what the heck they're gonna do with the Flash. That I have no clue what they want to do with.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like we can't get another Flash movie like 2 years right after we're getting or it's like 3 or 4 years after we just got this one. Like
It'd be a
that's crazy to me.
it'd be a totally like different thing. Like have no connection at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like what Gunn's gonna do is it's just gonna be new. It's just gonna be different. I feel like again they do stay. He does state, or Saffron and them have stated like there's a big commitment to the Justice League characters, right? But also at the same time, that's what they already did. They already were doing the big characters, except that they didn't do them right. Uh, and I agree with you on the Batman thing. Um, I think it's gonna be a little bit like you're saying, but I do think that Gunn wants to build a universe with a young, and I really think when they cast these characters that they're gonna be kind of unknowns. I really
Mhm.
think, and I'm not good at that sort of thing, anyways. Like casting characters who I think they're gonna play them. I really think they're gonna be unknowns, kind of like what Star Wars does with like what they did with Daisy Ridley and John Boyega. They were
Yeah.
unknowns before The Force Awakens, so I kind of think they're gonna do that thing, and I think that would be really cool.
I know there
Um,
was a throw up name for Superman recently. I saw a bunch of people talking about it on Twitter. I forgot the guy's name. I think his name was like Wolf something or other. Like people were like going for him on Twitter. I think he was rumored for Superman. It's by this like total like bogus source, I'm pretty sure. But like he looked really good for the role from what I saw.
yeah, yeah. Again, I'm not good at that type of thing, typecasting, but like, I would prefer like nobodies. It'd be kind of cool. It kind of be like like what makes I think these characters so special is the characters themselves.
Yeah.
Anytime you get like a big name actor playing it like a superhero, like for example, The Rock, like the selling point wasn't like it was Black Adam, it was like The Rock is a superhero.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Uh, so like yeah, I feel like unknowns, and I feel like Batman will be key to set up. And by like the end of these first 3 years, I could see a Justice League film, right?
Mhm.
I feel like that's kind of the thing that they will do. But also, I don't know, because Gunn said it's gonna be like a young Superman story. Are you down with that? Because we've kind of seen that already. Are you like? It's kind of like the thing with Spider-Man. Like you know Spider-Man's origin story. You know Batman's origin story. You like down with that, or like what do you
Yeah.
want from like a first Superman film?
I do think younger is a good way to go for a younger Superman because right now too we're seeing an older Superman with the CW version with Superman and Lois. That's fun to see, but like I feel like younger, like especially too for new audiences and everything, they want to like a new Superman, a younger face. I think would just be the better option for them to go. Um, I don't feel like it's. I feel like it's going to be hard to do because, like I said, of Cavill and everything, it's going to be really hard to replace. But I think it's. I think it'll. I think they're going to try to go more Christopher Reeve early Superman, like super hopeful, like charming. I think they're going to get a really charismatic actor, and like an actor that just makes you smile. They're just going to get somebody like really good. I feel like it's going to be like a total 180 from what they did with DCEU Superman.
Yeah, I think that would be really good. And then also like a follow up. Do you think that like they'll do like a whole like solo films with Batman and like his own universe? Do you think they'll do that, or do you think they'll sway away from that, especially if they want to focus on patents and stuff?
Um, that's a good question. I have a personal bias towards Pattinson. I really like Pattinson's Batman. but from like a business perspective, I'm not sure what they wanted. Like, they're in a very tricky situation where the Batman is a very like loved movie, but like
Mm,
they don't want multiple universes at the same time. Like, I think Joker 2 is gonna wrap up that universe. No more Joker in that universe. Like, that's done. So I wonder
right.
if they're gonna do the same thing with Batman. They complete his trilogy and they're done. But like the Penguin show is also still moving forward. That didn't get canceled.
Right.
So I'm really
And there's
curious
been
what they're doing with that.
and it's been talked about this, like there's a couple shows that they want to do in that universe with Reeves. And I think Gunn's already established that he doesn't want to touch Reeves' stuff. But
Mhm.
also for like the general audience, I feel like it's be really confusing having two separate things going on. And I'm sure with Gunn's plan, I don't know if they'll get multiversal by the end of it, if he sees the end of his contract. But like I wouldn't doubt we'll see Robert Pattinson like through the multiverse, the DC
Yeah.
multiverse in Gunn's universe. But that's a while away. That's a decade away.
Yeah.
You still haven't finished like Pattinson's. And I personally love the Batman too. It's besides the Dark Knight, obviously, it's my favorite Batman film. So
Yeah.
like I don't know what they're gonna do with that. I think you just leave Reeves' stuff alone because I think Reeves just understands that side of DC, and then you let Gunn do his thing with his cast of characters, and maybe he doesn't touch Batman for a while.
Yeah, well, and to this a hard thing too because they want to do younger Superman and like I think a younger Wonder Woman. Like it's gonna be hard to do with Batman too because like if you want like oh we'll just do it with a younger Batman. Well, Robert Pattinson's Batman is also a younger Batman, so you're gonna have just like two young Batmans walking around, and they can't go older because they've already said we don't want Ben Affleck anymore, but Ben Affleck might direct something, so it's hard. I would like to see Jensen Ackles, who's like Soldier Boy and the Boys, play
Mm.
Batman, but like that would just also just be too different. You got like a 40-year-old dude and two 20-year-olds playing like the other two trilogies of the Justice League. It's like, oh, okay, whatever you say.
Yeah, that certainly would be interesting. Yeah, I think we agree about the cosmic thing and the corpses, like the Lantern corpses, and a Superman project is obviously big. And do you think now for release, because I feel like they're going to announce the first 3 years, like how many projects do you think we'll get per year, like television and movie combined? Because I'm saying probably maybe at the most. I think out of the 3 years that they announced, maybe they'll announce about 3 years. I say, I think
Mhm.
they'll only announce 5 films. I don't think they're gonna be like Marvel and have like 3 films a year. I think might be 1 or 2 films a year, and then 1 or 2 shows a year, probably 2 shows a year. So that will
Mhm.
put you around, I don't know, like 7 to 10 projects for the first 3 years. Because I
Yeah,
don't think it's gonna be massive.
yeah, I could see that, but like at the same time, they're also doing. DC's got 4 films next year. They got Blue Beetle, Shazam, Aquaman, and Flash. So I mean, I don't see them doing 4 films ever again. The only reason it was 4 films is because all of them got delayed because DC smart like that. Um, I do see. I see 2 movies, 2 shows a year. I think two
Okay,
movies, two
I
shows.
I think
I
that
think
would
they'll
be
do like
good.
early year, later year, and then like to close the middle gap, they'll do TV shows. Like winter, like January, February, March, April movie, December, November, October movie, and then in between that they'll have like their shows to kind of like keep the audience from not running away from them.
Yeah, I think that would be a really good idea for sure. And I want to ask, what do you think? Because it would be weird from a business perspective for Gunn to say these films don't matter, right? These films coming out this year.
Mm-hmm.
So what do how do you think Gunn handles that? Because these films very apparently aren't going to matter in a year.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you think they handle this from a business perspective? How do you think Gunn handles this?
Like I said, he could like with the Suicide Squad. I think he could merge some characters. Like Blue Beetle apparently doesn't have too many DCEU references. I
Hmm.
feel like that could probably fold easily into the new DCEU. And I feel bad too for like the actor Zola. I forget his last name, but like he's from Cobra Kai. It's like this is like first film, like first like big star role in anything besides Cobra Kai,
Right.
like movie. So it's like you're just gonna take that away from him, like just like that. He didn't even got a chance to shine yet. So I feel like they could do stuff like that. I want. It depends on his performance, but like I feel like they could keep him. Like I said, they're probably not, but I want them to keep Supergirl. I feel like that's perfect casting from what I've seen of her so far. That's like
Hmm.
perfect casting. Shazam, Zachary Levi said some interesting stuff online to where I don't even know what's happening with him. Him and James Gunn are friends. So like
Right.
what do you feel like kicking your friend in the nuts if you just like, nah, bro, bye. You can stay in the old universe. Maybe we'll bring you back for Crisis in like 10 years.
Yeah. Right. For sure. Yeah, I mean, it's weird. I don't know what they're gonna do. I hope it works, right? I hope this like first 4 years, like, because like I was saying earlier, their contract's only for 4 years, so they got to hit off. And if they don't hit, then you have to restart again. So like, and
Yeah,
I trust Gunn a lot. Gunn knows his comics. I'm iffy on him writing Superman.
that,
Uh, I hope he does a direct.
I don't think he said he's not directing. He said he's just writing.
Yeah, which I'm iffy on. I don't know how you feel about that, but
I hope it's not too goofy. Like
yeah,
goofy Superman can be funny, but too much goofy Superman, like I'm good on that.
yeah, right, right. Um, so yeah, I got nothing else to say. You got anything else for this?
No, not really. Like, I just hope they keep some like decent castings. Like I said, there's no reason to like replace Levi. Levi's fine. The whole point of Shazam is for him to age up. So I want him to stay. Because I want Margot. I want Amanda Waller to stay. I like Peacemaker to stay. There's just some really great castings that like I'm really sad to say bye to. Like Henry Cavill. I am sad. I don't think he really got too much to shine. I don't think he really got his due. But Ben Affleck as Batman, he really never had a chance to prove himself.
Mm-hmm.
I feel so bad. Aquaman can go, I guess. I was never like entranced by Jason Momoa's performance. I thought he was
Right.
good, but like I'm not like, oh my gosh, if I could have anything I could keep in the DCU, I'd keep Aquaman. That's like, oh, okay, well, we'll see you as Lobo, I guess.
Yeah, I 100%